going as far away from the Capitol right now as he can because the Senate is not in session like their counterparts in the House is Senator Joey Garcia. Thanks so much for being here on Metro News Midday.
Hey, Amanda, happy to be with you.
It's kind of like, the kids at one school get a day off of school and the other kids have to go, and that's kind of what you're experiencing right now as the House is in session. But the Senate, you guys are able to kind of just sit back and observe at this moment. What are your top line thoughts after that really nasty election, Joey?
Oh, goodness. I mean, I think, first of all, it's kind of funny thinking about, there's a lot of interesting topics this week that the House is looking at, whether it be data centers or, TANF education stuff. So, a little bit sorry to miss some of the substance right there, but it's probably a good thing the Senate is not in the same room, at least the Republican caucus, because I can't imagine how pissed they are at each other. After one of the ugliest elections that we've seen, maybe any of us have seen for a long time. So, I will say, though, it did not surprise me what happened. I think when Republicans decided to close their primaries, we were going to end up with the worst inclinations of the Republican Party, the most extreme parts. And that's not to say, I think, in my opinion, the Republican Party and what they're doing, whether it's moderate or extreme, is really outside of what normal West Virginians are thinking about, whether those are energy costs or continuing to have community schools related to public education or a number of other things that really just affect people's pocketbooks. But what we did see was, incumbents backed by Morrissey in the Senate ultimately won. The dynamic didn't change that much. And a number of people who were were portrayed as moderate candidates, they really lost in their attempts to try to take the Senate to a place that's a little bit more like the House of Delegates right now.
Okay. And so as you and your colleague, Senator Mike Wolfel, who was on the show yesterday, are able to kind of just like sit back and watch this all, do you think that some of your Democratic teammates have a better chance in November because of the state of the economy right now, or based purely on the fact that you think they're good candidates?
Well, I think we have some amazing candidates, and I think we also have races that yes, I think the dynamic of who is running against each other, it will, that will certainly play a role. But you've got people like John Williams up in my area. I won my election last time by close to 10 points. And this is an area that's trending blue up in Fairmont, Morgantown. And I think John is a young guy who's been at this for 10 years. He's got a lot of experience, and he's not afraid to speak out on issues that I think are really important to people around here. And one of the issues I always talk about in this area, we've got 3 schools in Marion County that are on the verge of closing or consolidating next year because of all the Republican policies related to school choice, charter schools, and everything but public school funding. So, and then you got a guy like Sean Fluharty, who I've known for a long time. Again, he's a 10-year veteran of being in the House of Delegates, or maybe 12 years even. And he's somebody who is going to run a fiery campaign. He never pulls his punches, and he is somebody who's really for the people. And especially after what happened with Rayleigh's Law this year, I think that's one of the things that's driving him. Is trying to find, trying to talk about a message of justice for children and just some common sense. So I think that with Laura Chapman there, I think there's a good dichotomy of how they look at policy, and then there's a lot of other races we could talk about too. So,
Joey, I'm gonna say that school choice advocates might push back on you and say the state school funding aid formula is antiquated.
Of course they would, and they pushed back a lot this session, and I think they're wrong. I think that you can't sit here and look at the funding, and when you put $300 million into, a program that's off the rails and that really does not have guidelines for how the money is spent, and it doesn't affect the majority or even close to a majority of the kids in West Virginia. And we don't do anything, at the same time we had a gap of $250 million related to special education services that is killing our counties. It's an unfunded mandate, but it's something that we have not figured out how to deal with that. And so Is it necessarily cause and effect all the time? No, but it's a matter of priorities, and it's a matter of where we're spending money. We're spending money on one thing with whatever they ask for, and with this other, which again affects 97% of students, we are not providing the adequate funding that we need. And Republicans and Democrats, I think, agree on that. You talk to Amy Grady, you talk to other people. This is something that's hugely important that we have to deal with.
Do you think, Senator Garcia, there's going to come a moment when the November election is over that the Senate will be able to wrap its arms around each other and sing Kumbaya together?
Is that too loud of a laugh? I don't know.
Happy vacation to you.
Maybe. I honestly do not see that happening. I don't know. I think some things there's certain things about people that you just can't say and expect to repair a relationship. Yeah. And but you know what? I'm here. I always think it should be about the policy. It should be about the people of West Virginia. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to sit back and, I've got to vote for Senate President too. And hopefully I'm going to have a couple of Democratic colleagues that also have a vote for Senate President. So if anybody wants to join forces with us, we're going to be there ready and to do the work. I think that the people want to see us do to help them in their pocketbooks and get out of their private lives.
Amen. All right. Thank you so much, Joey. Appreciate it. Have a great day. We're back in just